system you're using, and then you click on this and you install it. Alright, so now we're inside of PyCharm. One thing you might want to do is come over here, click on Preferences or Open Preferences inside of Windows, and then a couple things you're going to need to do is come in and make sure that you have the right interpreter that you're going to use here. I'm going to go into Console and click on Python Console, and then make sure that you have the same version of Python that you just installed, and you just select it or find it on your computer. And then you're also going to want to go to Project Interpreter, and also make sure that Python 3.4 is also selected there, or at least that's what I'm using. Alright, and here is PyCharm, and I am going to create a new project, and over here I'm going to name it hello-python.py. That's the extension you use for Python applications. What we're going to do first off is we're going to import what are called modules, which are just going to provide us with some specialty functions that we're going to want to use. One of them is a random number generator, another one is the sys module, put these on separate lines, and then finally I'm also going to import the operating system or OS module. Now if I was going to do a simple hello world, all I would do inside of Python is inside of quotes. You can either use single or double quotes, they're exactly the same inside of Python, and I would just run that. You can see hello world printed out right there on our screen. If I would want to use a comment, I would just use the little hash symbol like that, or if I wanted to do a multi-line comment, I would use 3 single quotes, multi-line, and 3 single quotes once again. So that's how you handle comments inside of Python. A variable is just a place we're going to store values, and inside of Python you can store pretty much anything. There's a couple different data types which I'll explain, but you can see right there I just put name and equal to, and I put it a string named Derek, which is a string is just a series of letters, characters, whatever, in between single or double quotes like I said. And of course if we want to print that out, just go like this, and there you can see it printed. A variable has to start with a letter, and then it can have numbers or it can have underscores. So that's all we're going to have there for variables. And there are 5 main data types inside of Python, but like I said, we could take name like this and store a number inside of it and no problem would happen. But here we're just going to focus on numbers, strings, lists, tuples, and I'll explain what those are, and dictionaries or maps, whatever you want to call them. So those are the 5 main types inside of Python, and I'm going to go through each of them one by one. There are 7 different arithmetic operators. You have plus, you have minus, you have multiplication, you have division, you have modulus, which is going to return the remainder of a division. You're also going to be able to make exponential calculations with 2 multiplication signs, and floor division is going to perform a division and then discard the remainder altogether and rotate down. So if you have 14.5 as a value, it's going to change that to 14. And as an example of how that would work, I just went and put all these out here. I'm going to save that and run it, and you can see exactly how all of those arithmetic operators are going to work for you. Now, whenever you're performing arithmetic operations inside of Python or pretty much any programming language, you have to understand order of operation matters. And basically what order of operation says is if you have multiplication or division, they are going to be performed before addition or subtraction. So for example, here we are adding 1 plus 2 minus 3 times 2. That is going to have completely different values than if we would go in here and put inside of braces the addition and subtraction. Remember, the multiplication is going to happen first in this situation. And of course, make sure that you put the braces in here on both sides of this. And also pay attention here. You can see here we have what is a string. It's in between quotes. And if we would want to perform some arithmetic, we would just put a comma right after that string. We could have a never-ending litany of these different guys in order. And if we calculate this, you can see exactly what's going on. Order of operation definitely matters, and you definitely want to use braces anytime you can whenever you're working with arithmetic in pretty much any programming language. Now, like I said before, a string is just going to be a string of characters, numbers, whatever, between either single or double quotes. But you may ask yourself, what happens if you want